Hey there everyone, this is Cloud Chief. In today's video, I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about how to go about skilling up your combat skills very easily. I know a lot of people are going to say just use skill up books to skill up and don't worry about it. But skill up books are either going to have to cost you sparks or cost you gil. And while you can do this completely free, it does take some time to set up, and you typically would want to be using skill up food. Once you get this rolling, you can actually get skill ups faster than you can even possibly be popping books. So I definitely recommend this to get all your combat skill ups that don't have anything to do with range attacks. So to do this efficiently, you basically want to have War. I highly recommend War Monk if you have the sub, but really any sub job will work. You really just want Warrior one just because it can use all the different weapons, and then the main point, which is Retaliation, which is where you're going to be getting most of your skill ups. So what I recommend doing is heading out to Abyssia Altep, heading to Conflux 6, and then once you're there with all your Atmas and everything, you go ahead and round up all the mobs, and after you have all the mobs round up, use one of your high level weapons, preferably probably your Great Axe, whatever your main weapon is, and just start killing them, but make sure you're killing them one at a time. It doesn't really matter like if you're killing them in quick succession, but you do not want to just cleave them. For whatever reason, I've noticed if you cleave all the mobs, they will only level up to a certain point. For some reason, I'm guessing there's some kind of a timer on the server side that is looking for when mobs are dying and how frequently. So by killing them like every couple of seconds, because if you're at 119 with a good weapon, you should be destroying these things, that seems to do it really fast. I notice about 5 pulls will get the mobs to the point where you can cap your skill. Also, you can basically do this trick anywhere where there's, plenty of enemies around to grab. A wall so that you can line them all up, because you want to make sure that you're pulling up against the wall so all the enemies will line in front of you, so that way you're getting the retaliations. And you want to obviously make sure that the enemies are high enough level so that way you will cap your skill. And while there are plenty of places to do this, I highly recommend Abyssia, mainly Abyssia Altep. And I'm going to recommend the Mandies mainly because they always double attack. The other nice thing about these Mandies is if you go around killing them, you can get them to the level that you will be able to cap all your skills on. So therefore, once you get to that point, it's easy just to get yourself set up with a pool and then literally AFK for 3 minutes and then just come back, pop your JAs again as soon as they're off, and then you can go AFK again. It's really simple. The other nice thing about doing this in Abyssia is you get crewer buffs and Atma buffs. They will help out with just your survivability, especially if you're AFKing. I clearly recommend using either regen or damage taken Atmas, as that's going to give you the best survivability. The other thing that I recommend is that you make a skill up equipment set. This is going to typically have gear in it that is typically you want good gear, specifically damage taking gear, but not item level gear. Item level gear boosts your stats too high, and the mobs are mostly going to be missing you. If they're missing you, you're not going to get a retaliation in. So therefore, like I was using Hubergen as one of them, as that actually has negative evasion, which is actually going to help the mobs with hitting me, so it's going to retaliate more. I also have like a ring that increases skill up gain, and basically just wearing 99 gear that isn't really boosting my evasion. Anything that you have that's damage taken is good, because just reducing the damage is good. All you really want to get is the mobs hitting you, so that way you get the retaliate in, so that way that's a hit count and that's a chance at a skill up. So I recommend having a full damage taken set that you're going to be using at 119, because that way if just crazy stuff happens, and it happens sometimes, you can slap on that gear set and you should be fine and shouldn't be dying. As soon as you're stable with your party, you can slap on your gear set, which is going to drop your drop it so you're not in item level anymore, and then you will just should be able to retaliate and hit all the mobs. The only other thing that I can recommend is just make sure that you're using skill up food. If you have any gear that increases skill gain, obviously try and use that. And then also having the trust, was it Sakura, which is the little baby chocobo, that helps increase combat skill gain also. By doing all these things in conjunction, and if you make sure you have like a level 1 weapon so you're doing low damage, like I said, you can literally get yourself set up AFK, and I've literally seen in 3 minutes my skill go from 0 to over 100 if, you know, all the pieces are aligned and everything's working great. It really is ridiculous skill ups. Like I said, you can do it semi AFK, and you don't have to stand there, you know, spamming books or even make a macro that's only going to pop 6 books for you. You definitely can get skill ups faster than you can be popping books doing this once it gets going. So this is my recommendation for it, because the cost is almost nothing. It's only going to cost you any food that you have. I don't really recommend going out of your way of getting any gear. So it really is simple, and it's recommended over other ways. I will be having a guide come out that'll be talking about magic skill ups, but that's going to be a little bit, and I'll go into that, what my recommendations are. Now, I'm not saying to not use skill up books. Skill up books are definitely useful, especially for stuff like summoning magic. There's no real easy way to level your summoning magic, so using skill up books for that is good. While range attacks do level up relatively fast, I could see someone making an argument using some skill up books for that, because it's going to cost you money for ammo, plus sitting there spamming macros for that to do your range attacks or get the skill up. The only exception to that would be possibly Ninja. Ninja you could literally just set up so you're just auto attacking because of job trait, what is it, Draken, where you're just then throwing ninja stars. So going up against something that's not really going to kill you, but something that has a lot of HP with like level 1 katanas, and then even just a low level shuriken would be a good way to level up your throwing, because that's something you can literally AFK and the game will just auto do it for you. And that's about it for getting combat skill ups. Like I said, I really recommend this way. I honestly would even make an argument, even if you don't want to play war, considering how easy it is to level jobs nowadays, to level war just for this, just so that way, if you want to level any other jobs, the skill's already done for you. You're already going to get your skill way into the 300s, so that way you wouldn't have to worry about it for any job until you're like 90 plus. And even then, at 90 plus, you will have no problem getting skills on the things you're XPing, and you should easily cap by itself just by XPing. This is, I think, the best way to go about getting combat skill ups. And like I said, I highly recommend, even if you have no desire to play war, to level it just for this, just because it's so easy to level nowadays. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you got some value out of it. If this helped you out, go ahead and leave it a like, and may you have success in all you do.